Today I'll be replacing a coolant reservoir on this 2006 Volvo S40 non-turbo. I took this car to the shop to get a control arm replaced, and then that's when the shop told me that they would charge me an additional $200 just to replace this coolant reservoir. With overtime, with the heat and the age, the plastic tends to get brittle or crack, and in my case that's what happened. I have a small leak here, which it's dripping down into my belts and started to cause this squeaky noise besides dripping the coolant. So the first thing I'll be doing is I'll be emptying out whatever is left of the coolant. I purchased this reservoir tank on eBay for about $30. There's some that are cheaper, there's some that are higher. I just went with something right in the middle. Now let's get started. So first we'll be starting off by taking off the lid. I did forget to mention that you have to make sure that the car is cold and has been sitting, as this water can get hot and you can burn yourself. So it's been sitting here for a while because I've been waiting for the reservoir tank to come into the mail. And so now I'll be taking off the lid, and then I will be taking out whatever's left of the coolant, siphoning it out into just a normal bucket. Okay, so I've taken the most that I can, but still a little bit left in there. So my next thing, I'll be taking these clamps out. So that's these two hoses and then this hose back here. So first I'll be taking off these two. So first you're going to pinch these, and then you're going to move this clamp down here. So I'm going to do that with both. So as you can see, I did that. I pinched these two and I just pulled them back here. Now I'll be taking these off. One thing I forgot to mention is that these, what happened was that mine broke because it was so brittle, and actually this is where the crack was happening and it was leaking. You need to get one of these and loosen it. This one is also broken. So it will most likely break when I pull it out. But other than that, if yours is not at that point, just you want to loosen it up with one of these and then it should slide off easily. If it gets stuck like mine and broken because it's so brittle, you'll have to get needle nose pliers, those, after you loosen the edges with that, and then it should come right off. Of course, you want to inspect your hoses, make sure there's no cracks or anything. It is not cracked or anything. Just know that these little indents are normal because when it goes into your plastic, into your new tank, it has those grooves there for a reason. Next, since I got these two out, next will be the clamp in the back, which will be a little bit harder to get. And then obviously once I pinch the clamp, I should pull the clamp back here, and hopefully the hose comes out easily. What I'll be doing next to make it easier to take that hose out is using a screwdriver or one of these to pull that out of where it goes like that. And then there's also one here, let's see if you can see it. This hose is kind of in the way. You can unclamp this, and it's right, see it right there? That's it right there. So I'll be unclamping that to make it loose, since it's hard for me to get back here to unclamp that hose. So this is what it looks like now that I've taken it out. So that's one of the mounting brackets, and then this is the other mounting bracket here. This is the tank, which will be going just like this. First step will be, I'll be installing this, putting this hose in the back here before I put it on the mounting bracket. So like I said, I gotta put this hose here. Make sure there are grooves on the hoses right there. Those will be going on these grooves on these hoses. See the grooves? Make sure you align them correctly. Okay, so I got that back one. Now the next one are these two. Again, like I said, make sure that the grooves align with your tank. This one has a groove on this side, has a groove on this side. And there it is. Groove and groove. Next, I will be pinching these clamps and putting them back into place. I have already put them on, put the clamps on, put this one back on. Now I'll be aligning it with the holding brackets and pushing it back down. Got the clamp on. Next thing you're going to do and fill it up with coolant. I purchased this coolant, which is for Volvos, and it's already 50-50. It took about half a gallon. So now I'm gonna not put the lid on, turn on the car, so then the liquid can go down and then shut the car. So you let it run for a little bit. As it fills up, you're gonna stop, and then I'm gonna siphon some of that out so that it reaches your max and not above your max. Because you just don't know if your hoses are empty or if they still have fluid in them, and that's why you do it. Okay, so I'm done already. Left it running for a while. Siphoned some of it out to my max. You don't know how much is in your hose or if they're empty, and that's why you do that part. If it's empty, then it's going to fill up your hoses back up, and then you have to put more coolant. In my situation, my hoses were still full, so it actually overfilled my tank. So I siphoned some of it out to reach the max. I'll be putting my lid back on. And then I'll be covering the alternator and then washing it down and then letting it dry, and that should solve my problems of my squeaky belt as well, since it was leaking from here, leaking down to my belt, causing a little bit of squeakiness. So I'll just be cleaning it up so then my motor can stay clean. Again, this is a 2006 Volvo SE. My reservoir coolant tank was leaking onto my belt, causing a squeaking of the belt. So not only that, that's dangerous. You can overheat your motor if you run out of coolant. And like I said, they wanted to charge me $200 at the shop, so I just saved myself $200 buying the tank for $30. Took me about 15 minutes. It probably could have took me a little bit less, but I had a little bit of trouble getting into this spot. Oops, and I forgot to clamp that back on. And that's it. So all I gotta do is clean it up and I'm done. Thank you for watching.